Welcome, everyone, to our Lifeliners. So, here we go again with biblical awareness, seeking the mind of Christ. And if you had been with us with the previous video, this time we are talking about the resolution of God to his people under despair. Because the last time it's all about the reality that God's people is undergoing. That is why they are under despair. And now, as we take it over, it's my honest and authentic prayer that at this moment we acknowledge God even at the smallest details of life. And also that we may rely to God, knowing that He is good, His character is great, He is capable, and He is consistent. With this, join me in our scripture reading for this. 1 Kings chapter 19, verses 11 and 12. And he said, Go out and stand on the mount before the Lord. And behold, the Lord passed by, and a great and strong wind tore the mountains and broke in pieces the rocks before the Lord. But the Lord was not in the wind. And after the wind, an earthquake. But the Lord was not in the earthquake. Verse 12. And after the earthquake, a fire. But the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire, the sound of a low whisper. Let's praise the Lord for the reading of His word. And once again, these videos are actually designated to be heard by everyone, especially my fellow Filipinos. But to our foreign friends out there, kindly turn on your subtitles or captions so that you may see the translated words or versions of whatever vernacular, Filipino vernacular that I will be using on this video today. So, without further delay, let's have it in once again the context that basically the first kings, as part of convenience in dividing it from the original single book, Kings, is talking about disobedience bringing division. And basically, the bad king here at the time of Prophet Elijah, is a result of this division. All right, that's the context we are running through. And if we would recall, sa mga nakaalala, if you viewed the video of the previous one, yung reality, na kung saan si Prophet Elijah ay nag-request na siya ay, well, go to heaven, basically. He asked that his life may rest from the pressures of this world, pressures and stuff. But then, there were a few things that will happen next. Ito yung mga kaparaanan. Paano bang tumugon si Lord? How did God responded? What is the resolution? Or what are the resolutions provided by God for Prophet Elijah so that he will be restored back to his calling, like as he did with Peter in John 21. But here's a different thing. It's an Old Testament matter. All right. So, tayo po ay maglalakbay sa 1 Kings 19 verses 5 to 21. Okay. So, as you can see, there's some kind of an overlap because kasi it's a conversation between God and the prophet. So, in between, may mga puntong yung prophet medyo umaangal pa rin kahit si God ang kaharap niya. Para bang tayo lang, 'di ba? Yan. So, the first thing that God did for Prophet Elijah is empowerment. First Kings 19 verses 5 to 8. Siya muna ay pinalakas Paano? So, rest, pahinga. First Kings 9 verses 5 to 7. And he lay down, the prophet, and slept under a broom tree. So natulog muna siya. Umidlip. Hindi ko alam kung siya ba ay call center agent or BPO or night shift lagi ang trabaho niya. But technically, he is so tired and he slept under a broom tree. Alam niyo, sobrang pagod ka na kahit mapaupo ka na ng konti. You have your body has no choice but to sleep. I think the soldiers know that. I know a few soldiers who would say the same. Sa sobrang pagod nila, pagod na pagod sila, wag mo silang paupuin. Kasi pagka naupo sila, yung katawan nila mismo ang magsasabi ng signal na magpahinga at matulog. Ganon. Ang that is how it operates. Kay Prophet Elijah, it's just almost the same. After niyang kumalaban ng 450 katao, after niyang tumakbo ng medyo mahabang distansya para makatakas kay Jezebel, pagod na pagod na pagod na pagod. Okay, he is very tired and he slept under the broom tree. But then, question, did the Lord stop him? Well, you can read the verse right now with me. Ang sabi dyan ng verse is, hinayaan siyang matulog. Okay? And behold, an angel touched him and said to him, arise and eat. Wow, pinakain. Alright? Pinakain po si Elijah ng isang anghel ng Panginoon. Wala pong utos pinakain lang. So, what can we see here? Arise and eat. Pagsamahin po natin ang konsepto ng pahinga at pagkain. I think we are all related to this. Alam niyo yung pagod na pagod ka, nakita mo lang isang sopas na napakainit, humigop ka ng konti, para bang yung pagod mo, ng isip pagod ng isip mo, nawala. Na para bang andaling matulog ulit. Ganon, that is the idea of Prophet Elijah. The rest and the food given by the angel on the first attempt is to give him energy. Yun yung nangyari. Ano po? Energy and rest for his mind. So, we will go on verse 7. Um, After na magnap ni Elijah, okay? Natulog siya eh. Yan. For the second time around, okay? The angel touched him and said, arise and eat. Pinakain ulit siya. We don't know the food, basta, well, based on the picture, and if we will look at the tradition, it could be like the Mazda or matza as they call it. Yung tinapay na parang skyflakes pero walang lebadura. Tapos medyo may kaunting any soup na available. Okay, so nakakain si Elijah. Okay? Tinapay at saka sopas. Ano man sopas 'yon. And then saka pa lang siya sinabihan na the journey is too great for you. Kaya kumain ka. Hindi pwedeng walang kain-kain. Why? Kasi mahaba lakbayin. He will go to Horeb. Okay? He will go to Horeb to talk to God. Ito yung magandang bagay sa isang lingkod ng Diyos. Alright? So, rest. There is rest. Bago dumating sa refreshment, I want to focus on this. Ngayon ko ito naisip. Um, he is going to God kahit na siya ay medyo may duda, medyo may tanong. Okay? Here is the difference between a man of God or a believer of God versus the world. Someone who believes in God will go to God to find answers. Yan yung gagawin ni Elijah. Okay? Kaya po siya ay pinakain muna ng angel of the Lord. Okay? Pahinga at pagkain. So, sometimes yun lang ang kulang sa atin. Kaya ka iritable, kaya po tayo minsan pagod na pagod sa buhay. We are so tired of life na akala mo sobrang complex, kailangan mo agad psychiatrist. Yung pala, what you need is just food and rest. It could be the same. All right? I don't know. To my foreign friends up there who are listening right now, you may be on the same scenario that you feel so tired and heavily burdened in mind. Hopefully, we realize that sometimes it is only about resting and trusting and feeding ourselves, eating healthy, and those things. All right? Now, the story will continue because on verses 6 and 8, okay, magkasabay, all at the same time, rest and refreshment, pagkain at pahinga. Okay, verse 6, and he looked and behold, there was at his head a cake. Oh, cake. Hindi po ito yung gardenia. When I say cake, binake po kasi yung tinapay. Sila po noon ay gumagawa ng bato para maging parang oven, parang pan de Manila. Alright? And then, yun ang ginagamit nila para makabuo ng tinapay. And here we go, the angel from verse 5, First Kings 19 verse 5, did the same. Okay? And what can we see here? Nandun na yung pagkain. Hindi na po kailangan magpakahirap ni Elijah. Alright? The food is there already. That's why, as I said earlier, resting is equal to trusting. So that's the idea of that. So si Elijah, kumain siya, and then natulog ulit. You see in the picture, tulog na naman siya, oh. Yeah, kasi pagod na pagod siya eh. Alright? He's very tired. Pagod na pagod na pagod na pagod na siya. Kaya siya natulog. Alright. Now, verse 8, it's almost the same. But then, this time, we have the description. Alright? So, remember yung pangalawang pagkapakain sa kanya? And told him that the journey will be too long. Bakit po? Why? Because he will need to go to the place for a 40 days and 40 nights travel. Gano'ng kahaba yun? Tapos lakad pa. Hindi po uso during this time ang motor, ang kotse. If you are rich enough, baka may camel ka or kabayo. Okay? But in the case of this prophet Elijah, hindi. He will do it by walking. 40 days and 40 nights. So, basically, yung food na kinain po niya gave him strength to go along on a 40-day and 40-night journey. Which reminds me, the same set of days bago i-tempt si Jesus. Okay, 40 days and 40 nights. It's some kind of a normal fasting calendar for them, for that matter. Well, I don't know for whatever reason, but that's how it seems. So refreshment, rest and refreshment. That is how God empowered the prophet Elijah. And take note, wala pa si Lord dito. It's only the angels, the ministering spirits, or God, the angels of course, who are helping Elijah by the command of the Lord. Okay? So, let's hit the second point. But before that, I don't know how tired are you in your life, in your work, in your career, but have you considered resting? Kasi baka po, once again, I will reiterate this. Baka po kaya tayo irritable, kaya tayo naiinis, naaasar, hot-headed, alright? Maybe because we are not resting and trusting. Well, I could still remember a few of a, a pastor, set of pastors I know. They usually say, Resting is actually trusting God, that God can do something while you rest. There's a verse on that in Proverbs also or Psalms, but you can check it over. You can use Google, but that's the main context of that particular verse. So, sa dinami-dami ng gawain sa buhay, are we resting and trusting the Lord? Yes. And how do you do that? Kasi baka nga you are resting, we are resting, but we are doing it in a bad, ungodly way. Drunkardness, vices, those won't work. Elijah was given help by the Lord. And of course, how do you freshen up? Meron ka bang sports na ginagawa para ma-relax ang utak? Yeah. Meron ka bang hobby na ginagawa? Well, hindi masamang meron. Actually, mas maganda nga meron. Because those things are somewhat being used by the Lord to give space to our minds for resting. Okay? Yeah. So these are just reflective questions about the point, but that is for empowerment. Sometimes God is showing the empowerment, pero tayo yung hindi pumapansin. God is giving us the period of rest, period of pahinga, pero tayo ang hindi pumapansin. Hopefully we don't. And then next to the empowerment will be this empathy. This is different from sympathy. So, in what way? Empathy is thinking that you are in the person's shoe. Hindi po ito yung simpleng kakaawa ka naman. No, it's not that simple. It's like thinking na um, kung ako nasa posisyon mo, parang ang hirap anong lalagay na yan. Yan po yung empathy. Okay? But then, how did God answer these questions or this particular part of Elijah's journey? Remember, si Elijah, sa sobrang pagod, nag-complain na kay Lord. Okay? Sa sobrang pagod ni Elijah, he is so tired and tired and tired, and then he complained. He even asked to take his own life. Imagine, this is a man of God. Eh, ang daming stress sa buhay. So, what did the Lord do? First is a gentle question. Ang sabi sa 1 Kings 19 verse 9, okay, after 40 days, syempre nag-travel si Elijah. Na-reach niya yung Mount Horeb where he will meet the Lord. So there he came to a cave and lodged in it. So, nagpahinga siya, kumubli. In Filipino, we call it like sheltering under the shadow of a rock. So, kumubli. And behold, the word of the Lord came to him. So the Lord spoke. What are you doing here, Elijah? A very gentle question. Okay? It's a very gentle question na napaka-approachable. Okay? Now, if we will notice, the same scenario will happen because it will be repeated on verse 13. Mauulit ang scenario but this time, Elijah heard the voice of the Lord kasi nung una parang hindi pa niya napansin eh. Sobrang gentle kasi. But then, nung mapansin ni Elijah na, oh, si Lord yon. The holiness of God made Elijah wrap his face. Tinago niya ang kanyang mukha sa harapan ng Diyos. At lumabas siya saglit, parang si Moises. Lumabas saglit kasi that cave is a holy ground. And then, tumayo lang siya sa harap ng entrance ng kuweba para maghintay. Hindi niya pinangunahan si Lord. Okay? And then the Lord again said, what are you doing here, Elijah? It's a gentle question. Why? Because for someone that is in authority, kaya niya magtonong may otoridad. At na para bang, you can change these words na para bang mag-uutos. But then, it's a gentle question showing God's meekness towards Elijah. All right, so there's a gentle question for someone who is in despair, for someone not depressed, from someone suffering from anxiety attack. God gave the best response, a gentle question. Tayo ba? How about us? Eto, I will be honest with this. Um, Even in the Christian circles, this is the bad thing. Yes, tama naman. We tell the people that, oh, just read the Bible, just pray, just keep your faith. Totoo. It's true. However, imagine Elijah, prophet of the Lord, laging kausap si Lord, pero na-depress. Try to imagine kung si Elijah kausap mo, sabay babanat ka, and you will tell your words like, um, pag-pray mo lang yan. Hello. Elijah is a prophet. He is always praying to God. Ay, basahin mo lang ulit Bible mo. Again, Elijah is a prophet. He is always hearing the Lord. Sometimes we are too unsensitive na para bang um, we are treating others like, ay hindi, dapat Christian ka, kailangan malakas ka, kailangan di ka iiyak. No. Elijah is an example. Who else? Si Job, ganun din eh. Tapos, sino pa? Si Jonah. Si Jonah, medyo may pagkapasaway naman yon. But the point is, gentle questions is one of God's way in treating people in depression. Okay? Kasi baka mamaya, we are giving verse after verse, command after command, na mag-pray ka, you read your Bible, attend ka ng ganito, go to this, go to that, not ever realizing na kulang yun. We need to approach in the same way that Jesus or God, let's say. Well, of course, Jesus as part of the Trinity, yes. As God did in the case of Elijah, gentle question. All right. Now, let's hit the next one, which is genuine listening. Sa Filipino, in Filipino, for our foreigner friends, we call it totoong pakikinig. All right. Yeah. Well, one word for you people. Okay. So, genuine listening. Genuine, true, in Filipino, totoo. Yes. Um, so, First Kings 19 verse 10. Ito na. So, Elijah complained. Sabi ni Elijah, di ba nagtanong si Lord, Elijah, what are you doing here? Sabi niya, I have been very jealous for the Lord, for you, the God of hosts. For the people of Israel, sabay turo, blame agad, have forsaken your covenant, which is totoo. The land of Israel sinned because of King Ahab and killed your prophets with the sword. And even I, well, even I, yan na, the I word. Again, if you will notice, if you heard me with the realities do sa previous video, nung una, bago dumating si Elijah sa point of despair, ang terms niya, si Lord, si Lord, si Lord. Ito nangyari nung madespair siya. Sa harap ni Lord, ang sabi niya, ako, ako, ako. I. Why? Is it because he is selfish? Actually, no. This is simply because he is tired. Yes, lumakas yung katawan niya nung pakainin siya, but his mind, his soul is still tired at this point. First Kings 19 verse 10. Actually, same yan ng First Kings 19 verse 14 eh. Kaya nga, kung mapapansin nyo, number lang na bago. Oh. It's the same. So, twice siyang tinanong ni Lord, oh, kamusta ka na, Elijah? Why are you here? Ang lagi sagot ni Elijah, ako po kasi, ako po kasi, ako po kasi. But then, did the Lord scold him? Siya ba ay kinagalitan ng Diyos? Did the Lord tell him, stop speaking? No. The Lord is genuinely listening to him. So, to my foreign friends, I have the same message to you as well. That God is approaching to you in a gentle question and He is listening to you in a genuine way. And I hope that you're turning on your subtitles and captions so you can see the translations of the Filipino words I'm using. But from time to time, I will be translating a few. All right, so let's bring it in. Okay, so 19 verse 13. Okay, so from empathy, let's see a few reflections. As humans, how do we inquire of a fellow status? You see your friend depressed, attacked with anxiety. How do you ask your question? You see your friend that needs advice. How do you give your advice? Let's be honest. Are we being rude or being too insensitive? Those things. All right. Now, if we are the one being checked in, do we respond honestly and openly? It's a hard core question, but hopefully we are. All right. So let's see. Well, from empowerment to empathy, the Lord will not stop. Okay. It doesn't end there. The Lord gave empathy. This time he will give encouragement. And this will be the key that we have read earlier. So the first Kings 19, verses 11 and 12 tells us that God spoke on a still small voice. Remember yung key verse kanina? Okay, the key verse earlier. Yeah, so Jesus or God said, go out and stand on the mount before the Lord. All right, and what happened is the Lord sent the wind sa lakas ng hangin. The wind is too strong. It broke the rock. Nabasag yung mga bato. Nasira yung mga bato. But the Lord is not in the wind. Ang lakas-lakas nung hangin na yun, nabasag yung bato, wala si Lord sa hangin. Ano yun? Okay? And then, after the wind, earthquake, lumindol. Lumindol ng malakas. Kaya siguro yung mukha dito ni Elijah sa picture. Hindi niya maintindihan kung siya ba magko-cover ng ulo o luluhod ba siya. But then, friends, foreign and Filipino friends, again, the Lord was not in the earthquake. So, let's bring it over. That's verse 11. If you will look at back, verse 11 yan. Okay, let's bring it to verse 12. From the wind to the earthquake, this time, fire, apoy. Hindi po ako sure kung ito'y kaparehas ng apoy ng burning bush or whatsoever, but the clear point is this. It is a powerful fire. But then, again and again and again, for the third time, the Lord was not in the fire. Now, bakit po siya nakabukod? If we could still remember, um, Elijah's Mount Carmel experience is by fire. Nagpatawag po siya ng apoy from heaven to burn the offerings. So, para kay Elijah, remarkable yung apoy. Okay, kasi yun yung ginamit ng Diyos para patunayan against 450 false prophets na siya yung tunay na propeta. Okay? Now, but still, if we will notice, the Lord was not in the fire. Wala pa rin si Lord sa apoy. And after the fire, the sound of a low whisper. Let me repeat. After the fire, the sound of a low whisper. So, it is a still small voice. After all, ang daming nangyari. It's just a still small voice of the Lord that will bring Elijah his encouragement. All right. So later on in reflections, we will see that. But basically, it shows how we, as humans, are always looking for big things. Kailangan agad malaki pera. Kailangan agad bigla ang success. Ganon tayo mag-isip. But then later on the reflections, we will realize na mali pala. Because according to 1 Kings 19 verse 12, a low whisper. Bumubulong pala si Lord. Okay? Kasi malapit. Okay? Ganun yung idea. Elijah as a prophet, he is close to God. Kaya nga, bulungan sa kanya. Now, another thing that God did other than the still small voice is the sure steps of validity. So, yung calling ni Elijah, kasi medyo parang naging confusing yung kay Elijah because of his doubts. Kaya, kailangan ng Diyos na ibalik yung calling niya. The Lord needs to remind him about his calling. So, yan yung nasa verses 15, 1 Kings 19 verses 15 to 17. So, he was told to go. So, the details are there na kailangan niya magpunta ng Damascus, may kailangan siyang i-anoint, alright, whosoever it is na kailangan niyang i-anoint to be the king of Damascus, it's so on and so forth. Okay? And yeah, 16, alright, and of course, 17. So, it's a very important prophecy that I will not tackle right now because it will be a very long message. But basically, what happened here is, sa hinaba-haba ng kwento, the Lord simply told Elijah to go and do your calling. Puntahan mo yung pinapuntahan ko sa'yo. Alright? Validity of his calling. So, hindi porket nagkamali si Elijah ng mentality, tumigil ang calling niya. Well, I hope I'm talking to someone right now. Even though Elijah doubted his calling because of his tiredness and depression, his calling never ever ended. Rather, it is intensified. Hindi lang po siya. Si Peter in John 21, nagkamali to Jesus Christ, pero on the book of Acts, he was able to lead the church. Alright? So, his calling. Now, his colleagues. Remember po, earlier, Elijah is complaining, solo ako, Lord, wala akong kasama. Okay? Elijah is telling, Lord, I don't have anyone. But then, the Lord confirms the validity of his colleagues. First Kings 19 verse 18. All right. So, sabi, yet I will leave 7,000 in Israel, all the knees that have not bowed to Baal or Baal, and every mouth that has not kissed him. Wow. Yung pala may 7,000 pa. And by the way, this 7,000 people are the ones being hidden by Obed, Prophet Obed. And walang kamalay-malay si Elijah. Si Obed, nakakaharap niya na from time to time. Yun pala si Obed, may tinatagong 7,000 na propeta. Ano po? You see? Eventually, na-realize lang to ni Elijah nung mangyari yung kanyang downfall. By the way, that's First Kings 19. Apologies for the typographical. So, if you will notice, if Obed, Prophet Obed, you can check your Bibles or Google later. If Prophet Obed was used by the Lord to gather the 7,000 more faithful prophets of God, baka may mga taong ginagamit si Lord na hindi mo, you are not able to meet yet or hindi mo pa nakikilala, but being used by the Lord to form your colleagues in His ministry. Totoo? Totoo. All right. Now, if we will have it here, that's that's gotta be the first two. All right. And another thing that God confirms by the sure steps of validity is His continuity. Um, One thing na pinakamahalaga para sa isang propeta ay magkaroon ng disipulo. Remember yung servant na iniwan niya. Okay? Apparently, I was thinking, nung magkahiwalay sila, they have never met each other again for a long time. So this time, God is going to give him a better apprentice, Elisha. All right? First Kings 19. Again, it's 19, verses 19 to 21. So, he departed from there after niyang i-anoint yung dapat i-anoint na hari and found Elisha, the son of Shaphat. Oh. So, si Elisha daw po is doing the farm work, all right? And then, um, when he met Elisha, he cast his cloak upon him. So this is a symbol of choosing, that I'm choosing you to be my disciple. And 19:20, Elisha left the oxen, ran after Elijah. And by the way, this is the proper way of the Jewish culture of being a disciple. You will leave everything else and follow your discipler. Alright? Same concept po to ng mga martial artists, that you follow the ways and live like your master. So, si Elijah sumunod kay, Elijah gave his blessing to Elisha, and Elisha followed Elijah. Actually, sometimes their names are confusing. That's why you need to tell them slowly. But then, the idea is this. So, nagpaalam si Elijah sa kanyang kasama. Of course, si Elisha kasama. Elisha asked for his parents, and then they went on. And then here, so 21, and technically, Elijah was assisted by Elisha throughout the way. Actually, if you will read the Second Kings, you will see na sila ay magkasama na. Okay? So, in this case, we saw that there is encouragement given on the matter. Now, for the recap, how did God dealt with the misery of Elijah? So, una, in-empower siya, pinakain, pinagpahinga. Pangalawa, in-empathize ang kanyang nararamdaman. Hindi po ito binaliwala. All right? The Lord recognized that Elijah is still human. He's got emotions and everything else. Pangatlo, encouragement. The Lord encouraged Elijah again to do his calling. And so, with that said, let's have a quick reflection. This one is going to be the slide for our reflection. Have you been looking for big things from God na para bang kapag hindi malaki yung bagay, hindi ka masaya? Okay? Na kapag maliit lang yung binibigay ng Lord, you're not happy at all. And of course, in effect, are you missing God's still small voice because you're too focused on those big things? That's why it's based on our prayer earlier. It is the acknowledgement of life as it should be, and also a reliance to God alone. Na kahit maliit na bagay ang binibigay na blessing ng Diyos, we are not complaining, we are not talking whatsoever of any negative things. All right. So, with that said, um, that ends the story of Elijah's, well, let's say, journey from depression to victory because of God. And so, if you want more, connect to your lifeline, like, comment, and share, subscribe, and of course, you can tell it to your friends as well. So, have a great day and see you on the next videos. Till next time, once again, God bless. Signing off.